So tens of millions of Americans will vote by mail this year, and election offices across our great state are ramping up their operations to make sure every voter has a ballot and every ballot gets counted. Our Itai Ha joins us this morning from Santa Ana at one of the largest processing centers in the country. And I imagine, oh my gosh, there the
press is going.
I love seeing the inner workings. The ballot comes, but we don't know the sausage, how it was made. I know, we love it. So are they doing everything they can to make sure these get out safely and everything's done well?
They are. Good morning, Giselle. Yes, Orange County is the 5th largest voting jurisdiction in the country, which is great for Orange County, not so great for the people who have to print ballots during a pandemic. Luckily, they have this huge printer that we're told can print up to 1,000 ballots per minute. Right now, they're printing a voter information guide that will go out to all these voters. Between that and all the ballots, it'll be going on 24/7 until they finish printing 1.7 million mail-in ballots. There's been a lot of talk about these mail-in ballots, especially with all the rhetoric coming from Washington. Are they safe? Can they be trusted? Who better to ask than the people who not only print them, but also receive them and then sort them and then tally them? They've been very busy, as you can imagine. They haven't slept since March or so, but they made some time for us. Take a look.
In a year when everything seems to be up in the air, there's one thing Neil Kelly knows for sure. 2020 will go down as the most intense election of his career.
It's like planning 20 Super Bowls at one time.
The chief election official in Orange County, Kelly, has been in a race against the clock ever since the coronavirus hit.
It consumed me. I realized that it was very possible as COVID exploded that we could be doing an all-mail ballot election in the 5th largest county in the country in the fall.
More than 33 million Americans voted by mail in 2016. That number is expected to double this time around, which is why Kelly has set up what he calls a military-style operation to handle the unprecedented tsunami of mail-in ballots.
It is hard to describe. It is an enormous amount of pressure. There's a lot weighing on my shoulders.
Since March, he's invested more than $1 million upgrading his machines, doubling his capacity, and conducting dry runs like this one to make sure everything is up to snuff. He also ordered a lot more paper, enough to print 1.7 million ballots.
We're printing so much that if you laid paper down on the road, it would run all the way to Salt Lake City.
President Trump's repeated attacks on the validity of mail-in ballots have fueled concerns among voters. But Kelly insists not only are they secure, they're safer than voting in person.
We don't check IDs in California. We're prevented from doing that. We don't compare your signature when you go to vote in person, but we do these things when you're voting through the mail.
Completed ballots can arrive up to 17 days after Election Day, as long as they're postmarked by November 3rd. Kelly will then have 30 days to tally the votes. He can't say how long exactly it'll take to count them all. What he can say is what will happen once he's done.
Once it's all over, I'm going to relax and drink a beer on the beach somewhere.
Navigating a historic election during a global pandemic by delivering democracy straight to your door.
The ballots will go out to voters on October 5th, and Josh, who has been manning this machine here since 6 a.m., will probably be here until then. Guys, back to you in the studio.
I bet you he's looking forward to that beer on the beach, too. We get it. We understand. So, Itai, when will we know the results of the election? How long will it take to count millions of ballots?
Isn't that the $64,000 question? Yes. They have 30 days to actually tally them from the moment from December 3rd, November 3rd. They have 30 days, but they believe they could do it in probably about 2 weeks is when they'll know who won.
Great. Well, thank you so much. It's so interesting to see how they're done.
Oh, the paper going.
Care and the safety.
You know what else? When you go to a printing press, the smell of the paper.
I know. Yeah. I know. I love
and cool
that.
to see that process, how fast it all moves, the machinery.
Technology moves a million a minute. That's just wild.
It's pretty extraordinary. Well, all right, everybody. Experts say voting by mail is the safest option during the COVID-19 pandemic. And later this hour, we're going to have more on the process from our virtually Rick. Nobody does it like him.
That's exactly right. We'll be back.